just get
Okay.
it done.
Okay, Kitchen Kings and Queens. So we have our last bit of tomato going on here. Okay. And that's heating up and working. And I gotta say, these handles on these Farberware or Revereware, they really held up to the heat because we had like a raw flame there and it worked. So we're done with the bucket. I'm gonna put that upside down. There's Roxy. Alright. Brother Curtis is down here processing the tomatoes. So Curtis, what are you doing here?
I am grinding the tomatoes down and getting rid of all the stems and skin.
Wonderful. And we already have a big pot inside, and we'll probably get 3 big pots full. So we're gonna go inside and look at the canning process. We got the chairs out here and everything. Okay, so here's what we're doing to prepare. So we are sanitizing the lids. We are sanitizing the jars. Have to be boiled. And then we're sanitizing the lids and the rings here. We have different types of jars. So there's 2 types. There's the narrow mouth and then there's the wide mouth. And we're using a little bit of both. That's gonna go into here. So we're gonna add some more water. This is our canning bath. So this is where we're actually gonna can them. But first we have to sanitize all of the equipment first. Something interesting, we have this, which is used to grip the jars, and then we also have this funnel, this wide mouth funnel, which goes on top. It's a canning funnel, so we'll be using that. And here is our puree. Okay, so we got a lovely bunch of puree in there, and we're going to be using oh man, I don't have any ladles here, so we'll come back over here. Okay, just a little look at the cookware. Just a little look at this cookware. This is the disc bottom modern Revereware. This is Duraware, which was made in New York. This is a commercial cookware. So we're working on that right now. And we'll be back. Okay, so we are going to remove and cool, dry off these rings and the lids. They are now sanitized, and then we are going to be ready soon to start canning. Okay. So there are some additional tools that I am going to use. Okay, I'm going to pull all these lids out, all these rings out. And the rings can be reused, which I thought was interesting. I always thought you just left them on, but no, they can be reused. So we will this will probably be a couple days worth of a canning thing. So the jars are probably getting close to being ready. Yes, they are. Okay, so we'll be ready to start canning in just a minute. So I got one of the canners going here, And I think I'm going to put the other one on the other pot, or the other burner here. So remember I told you earlier today that this is going to be this stove is going to get a workout today. And I was not kidding. I'm going to flip the camera around here so you can see just what's going on the stove. Okay, so this is our jars that are sanitizing. They're just about ready, so we're gonna set a little timer for that. And this is the canner. Okay, that's getting preheated. That's where the jars are gonna go. And this is the passata that we did that was in the refrigerator. I have to get that at least up to warm so that we can can. Okay, so that's that. We're also gonna add a little bit of basil in here, and we're going to have to add a little citric acid to sanitize or to acidify the tomatoes. So this is just the soot from the pots being cooked on the what's it called, the barbecue. So my pots are really getting a workout today. We got the what's it called, we got all of the Farberware and Revereware going today. We got the Effetti, which is, or Piazza. So we really using all the pots. There's a ton of Revereware. My mom's out there processing. So this is another tool that you need. This is to go around to make sure there's no bubbles. We also are going to need a ruler because we need to leave a 1/2 inch in the jar. Okay, so this is a little bit exact science. I got this lovely Epicotti funnel for jarring, so we'll have that as well. Okay, so I'm gonna get another towel here so that when our jars come out, we can put that. So this is, you need bottled lemon juice to acidify the tomatoes, which again sounds crazy because tomatoes are pretty acidic, but they need a little bit of they need a little bit more acidic to make sure that they're safe. So some people don't do that. Some people just put the tomatoes. I think we would probably be okay because the tomatoes around here are pretty acidic, but just to be safe, we're going to do that. Okay, so I'm going to check on all my jars here, and our jars are sanitizing away. Let's see what it says here. So me and my mom went to the college, Penn State near here, has these great courses for, just regular everyday people for different things. So they have one locally for canning, and we went to it, and that's kind of where we learned all this stuff, and it was really helpful to learn that process. So that's where we learned about the acidification of the tomatoes that's required. Sorry, my pots are hissing over here, but that's okay. All right, so we'll come back and you'll see the process for actually canning. Okay, kitchen kings and queens. So we are ready to start jarring. Okay, so we're gonna take out some of these jars. Okay, that's not what we wanted. Okay. And we're gonna dump out the water. Okay, and we're gonna bring it over here, and this is where I'm gonna put them. So I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna position the camera back over. We move the other Piazza stock pot over there. Okay, and we are going to be ready to start canning. So I'm sorry about all this camera motion, but I want to make sure that you get to see everything. Okay, so I'm going to keep bringing over the jars. So hopefully I don't break anymore. Break them. Okay, we're going to let them dry. And I think I'm going to throw in some more of these jars into the pot here because we got a lot of tomatoes to can. And I want to make sure we monopolize. So I'm actually going to do two different types. I'm going to do one in each pot. So we're going to do quarts and pints. So the big pots, those are the quarts, and these little guys are the pints. So they need to process at different temperatures. So we're going to do them in two different pots. Okay? And I'm gonna put the racks over there. Alright, we're almost ready. And then I'm gonna put a couple more jars in there. Okay. Alright, so to speed things along, I'm gonna pop these jars in. Sorry, there's a lot of downtime in this, just because we're trying to do two things at once, but we're gonna speed it up pretty soon. Okay, so we are ready to do the tomatoes. Okay, so what we need to do is for the big ones, I need 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and the other ones I need 1. Okay, so I'm gonna pop that in. Each one, 1, 2, 1 in that one. two. Two. And this is probably like the only useful use of this bottled lemon juice. Although this one is made in Italy and it's actually lemon juice, but most of them are just citric acid, which is why they're able to be used for this, because that's what you actually need. But it's a good way to get rid of this because I really only use real citric acid, or real lemon juice. So now I'm going to take just like the big ones, 2 basil leaves, little ones, 1. 2 basil leaves. And I'm picking the bigger leaves from the plant here. Okay. So, this is just kind of for flavor, okay? Now we're going to fill, okay? So we're going to use our canning funnel here, and we're going to pour in the passata. Now remember, we have to leave a half an inch at the top. Okay, so just so I can kind of get an idea. I think actually the bottom of this, yes, I think that's a half an inch. If that's the case, then that's gonna really help things out. Oh, yes. That's perfect. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit more than that. Okay, so that's going to be what we're going to do there. So I'll come back when I'm ready to put these into the container. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. My mom needed me to get her pot switched out there. Okay, so I'm gonna keep going here with the passata, and then I'm going to put the lids on. Hopefully by that time, also the, actually, you know what I'll do is I'll show you what you do. So you run this around to make sure there's no bubbles. Okay. And then we're going to put on the lid. And make sure it gets a good seal. Okay. And then we screw on the lid, some tight, and then we're going to put it into the rack. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to use 2 different racks here. One of them is going to be for the quarts, and one of them is going to be for the pints. Okay, so then I'm going to move this up so it's closer. Just keep doing it like soldiers. Okay. And this is going to cook believe it or not, during the canning process. Okay, so, and you can be sloppy with, well, you shouldn't be sloppy with this, but with the funnel, that kind of keeps things nice and orderly when you're pouring it into the jars. Okay, and these are the quart jars, so they are a little bit hardier. They're holding a little bit more. You know what? I think I'm gonna switch from to the. I have like a funnel cup. I think this will make things go a little bit quicker. Okay, so that way, kind of speed up this process. Okay. And that's great because this is about a pint, so it works out pretty well. Oh wow! Oh yeah, that looks good. This is metric, so it's not quite a pint, but this is getting the drops on a little bit fast. Okay, so we're gonna keep on keeping on. And I'm gonna just keep filling these. Okay, oh, that one. I'm going to pour a little off. That's not quite a half an inch. Okay, so. And you want to make sure, if you have to do that, that you wipe the rim. Because you want to make sure that you're able to get a nice, good seal. And that's very important for this whole process. Because without that, then you don't have jarred in. Okay. There we go. Okay. And okay, oh good. My second batch of jars is good. So, getting the hang of this. Okay. So that's great. Alright, and we're just gonna top on the lids. Oh, wait. We did not do our whirly bird. Yeah, that's very important. We don't want any air in there. And believe it or not, a lot of air is in there. So this is a very important step. Okay? It kind of levels everything out and makes sure that you are at that half an inch. Okay. Put that on. That one on. Oh man, I gotta sanitize some more lids too. Okay. It looks like it's coming along good. Okay, so I'm going to tighten that. Tighten that. we're gonna skip that one. I guess. The big ones, they will be ready to go in. So, alright, I will show you what it looks like when we put them in and then when we take them out, and then we will be done. Okay, Kitchen Kings and Queens, welcome back. We had one blowout here, and there's another blowout in this pot. I hope it's only one. I don't know, it's looking a little bad in this one. But I think I figured out what I did wrong. And I want to share with you what I did wrong so you don't make the same mistake. This lid, let me set this up. Also, you may notice like the water separated a little bit. Yeah, this is the problem. So you are only supposed to do these two like finger tight. So that's like to there. I put this, and that makes a lot of sense because I also did the same thing with these. I really tightened them, and I think that's where I went wrong, and that's why I had my blowout here. But you know what? It's my first time doing it, so I think I did pretty good for a first time. Also, the Passata is a little, like I said, it's separated, so that's just the water. It'll reconstitute, it'll come together, and again, next time I do it, I will definitely cook down the tomatoes, because a lot of, especially the batch that I used, the Squeezo one, that was very liquidy. The one that was done with this one as opposed to the plastic one. That one gave a little bit more pulpy of a sauce. So that one definitely worked better, and I ordered a machine, so next time I will be chilling like a villain in New Zealand with my electric machine. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it doesn't turn you off from doing it. These are definitely the better ones. I hope I start hearing some popping today. That's the telltale sign that you have your seal. It's going to take a couple hours, like it goes overnight, so it's not going to happen right now. It might, especially the way I talk, rambling on, but it's not typically, that's why you're supposed to leave them for 12 hours. Okay, so goodbye, Kitchen Kings and Queens, for the day, and I hope you had fun watching. I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit more of my kitchen, my outdoor kitchen, a little bit more of my family, You may have noticed that there was a little bit of commotion. Josh was a little crabby. He was ready to go, so we, my brother and sister-in-law had to leave post haste. So that's why they just kind of left. You may have heard him fussing in the background, but it's okay. He's a little baby and he's new to this whole thing, and he had a long day just like all of us. So he was ready to go home, and I am ready to go to bed. So I'm gonna go and rest for a little bit, and then I will head to bed. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you watched both videos, and I will see you later on in the week. Bye, Kitchen Kings and Queens.